everyone, how are you? Happy January 28th. I had to check the time. I've been a little off. I took a small vacation and it's almost time to go back to work, and I'm still trying to catch up on what day of the week it is. But you know what? Y'all are used to seeing me on here counting my cash and stuffing my envelope, stuffing my wallet, talking about financial goals. Now, as many of you know, I run a small company called Bella Girl Designs, where I make cute savings challenge. I sell money envelope challenges, things of that nature. But what some of you may not know is my educational and my career background happens to be in business. I'm a salesperson. I love selling. I love providing recommendations on what I think would make your life easier based off of the information you share with me. Now, with all of that being said, you may wonder, what does that have to do with anything? Well, if you have not been paying attention to the news in the last 2 weeks, then you may not know what I'm talking about. But I'm quite sure between all of the social media posts, all of the uproar, all of the media coverage, we all know what's up. So probably the biggest one that has hit has been the Target DEI rollback. But what's so crazy is it shouldn't be a surprise. Target had been talking about rolling back or really ending their DEI as of November 2024. And the goal was to literally dissolve the initiative at the end of 2025. All the company did, because of what the administration decided, was they ended it earlier. But this was already a game plan. This was already something that Target was putting into play. So many may say, how does that make that better? Well, currently right now, everybody who's somebody is yelling, boycott Target. But I think this is what we're forgetting. So me being me, I'm asking questions because I just feel sometimes you have to ask questions to understand where people are coming from. So I begin asking the question of, okay, so if we boycott Target, we boycott Walmart, we boycott every company who has supported our current president, as well as we boycott any company who has supported Elon Musk. We boycott any company that has basically taken their DEI program back. What does that leave us? Nothing. Like, y'all really, we have nowhere to shop. That's just real talk. If you haven't realized, Amazon ain't been Amazoning. You order something from Amazon, we're used to getting it in 1 to 2 days. Sometimes, y'all, I don't get my stuff for a week. It just really depends on where you are in the US and where your product is. So I know people often say we got to get over the mindset of being convenient, having stuff readily available to us when we want it. I agree to some point. I am one of those people that when I want it, and I want to be able to go get it. But I do understand that sometimes being patient gets you a better opportunity. But I want to pose this to you guys. So I want to say last week, maybe this week, we're on Tuesday. So no, actually late last week, both Tabitha Brown and the owner of the Lip Bar have both posted for their followers to view where they're making their stance on how they feel about the Target DEI rollback. Because do mind you, these are two prominent Black women-owned businesses in this store. And more or less where I got from both women were, one, y'all, they have contracts. Tab talked about her having a year left in her contract. The young lady from the Lip Bar, I believe she's been with them since 2017. So the Lip Bar and Target has this long-standing relationship that she's really got to think about, because I don't know if she has a contract that's still in place that she needs to fulfill, or is it just her profit has been so well that she's hesitant to pull out. Now, do mind you, people I've been talking to, their whole mindset is, why don't they pull out of Target? set up their own storefront, and then just simply sell from their own storefront. Here's the issue. I got a couple issues. So one, for them to pull out of Target, they're breaking their contract. They're going to be penalized. They're going to be fined. So we're already asking them to take a loss by coming out of the retail stores. But now we're asking them to take another loss for pulling out of their contractual obligations earlier. That's one thing. Second thing is, you're asking a owner to scale back their mass product situation and pull it into 1 or 2 locations. Now, I don't know about y'all, right? I live in Madison, Alabama. Rent out here is ridiculous, or to me, it's ridiculous. Buying a home out here is utterly ridiculous, y'all. I pay, just to give you a roundabout number, I pay about $1,300 in rent. That's utilities and everything. Around the corner from me, I've got houses starting at $250,000 $250,000. So, and do mind you, interest rates are at, they're high. Like, they're not back in the day 3%, 5%, like they're 8, 9%. So you're asking a company that's in Target, you're asking them to come into a smaller situation, and you're basically telling them, we're gonna buy directly from you. Now, that's great because we are driving all business to one main source. But I got a question. You're now creating costs for them. You now have them worrying about the places, like where are they going to store products? Where are they going to make products? Where are they going to run their operations from? That's one part. Second part is they now have to worry about labor. So they now have to hire people to now step in and make this happen. Because at this point, now they're picking up healthcare insurance. They're picking up other benefits. They're picking up 401k of their public stocks, or 401k to give their employees opportunities to save. And then maybe they're the company that, we're going to match you to a certain degree, like most big companies do. They have their share costs of healthcare that they have to provide. If they're a publicly traded company, they probably gonna want to give their employees some stock shares there. So that's going to create more costs for them. Not saying that there's anything wrong with it, but who's to say that this owner has that front load to be able to do so? Because do mind you, we're already asking them to break a contractual obligation early, as well as there are going to be penalties. I can promise y'all there are going to be penalties for any company who pulls out of Target. Why do you think they haven't? Just real talk. So with all of that said, here was my thing. I'm not boycotting anybody. What I am doing is I am being Target specific when I purchase. So for instance, I like Donna Recipe, the hair care product. That happens to be Tabitha Brown. I purchased that from Target. There's not many places I can get it from. My Target has what I need, so I just get it from there. Lip Bar has 2 or 3 lip colors that I love. Well, I get it from Target. Now, some may say you're feeding the middleman. Y'all, there are times where we can't help but feed the middleman. Sometimes we have to feed the middleman. Now, here's something I want you to think about. Let's say everybody decides to agree with you. We decide to form a mass boycott. Somebody brought this to my attention. When the Montgomery bus boycott happened, these people did not ride a bus for 366 days. They walked everywhere. The people who had cars helped make sure that others got where they're supposed to be. Many people are basically kind of looking at our generation and they're comparing them to our ancestors. Well, not even our ancestors, because Montgomery boycott happened in the 60s. So we're thinking, for me, I'm thinking like my mother, my grandmother, my father, my grandfather, the generation that's literally right behind me. And yes, I mean, it was a different time. Like, it was a totally different situation. Now, do mind you, do I think that situation is potentially coming or potentially back in play? Y'all, it's hard to say. I mean, at the end of the day, it's hard to say where we're going. But just before you make a decision based off of everybody else's opinion, social media, all of that stuff, I want you to think about how you're impacting others. So y'all, if we don't buy from the Targets, the Walmarts, the Costcos, the other places that sell these Black-owned products, they are going to lose their shelf space. When they lose their shelf space, these companies are going to put the companies that they wanted in those shelf space. Y'all, if that happens, we are going to have a hell of a time getting Black-owned, women-owned, Latino-owned, every company that currently has a place. We're going to have a hell of a time getting them back once all of this is settled and said and everybody's back happy. So why force them to lose their place when we can support them right where they are and continue to protest with our Black dollars? And then think about it like this. If they have to put the products back in their own hands, here's something I want to tell you. If you support them doing that, support them when they're asking double what retail is selling it for. Because see, we love to ask people to do things, but we fail to support them. So that's just my 2 cents. It's all personal belief. It's all thinking from a business major standpoint, but it's just personally how I feel. Because for me right now, I'm hearing a lot of words. Let's go ahead and start actions, because actions are the only way we're going to make people understand where we're coming from. But now I'm back to your regular schedule program. Y'all, I don't have a cash stuffing for y'all. I don't have a savings challenge for y'all. I actually took a trip up to Nashville and Shelbyville and Lynchburg, and I won a distillery tour. And assistant took all the money that she would have saved this month, or well, this pay period, and I spent it. I spent it on me. But we'll be back to our regular schedule program in February, catching up. I really don't have a lot to catch up on, but I was smart. I worked ahead, but keeping on that train of hitting the 100K by the end of the year and just seeing what our lives look like, y'all, because 2025 is going to be a 2025. But I'll tell you this, whatever goals you have for yourself, keep pushing for those goals. You don't need a plan B. You just need a solid plan A. Peace.